Okay, we are live.
Okay, good morning. Would like to call to order the Friday, August 8th Pinelands Commission meeting. Jay, can you please read the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, good morning. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Pinelands Commission was given in compliance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act by providing notice to all municipal and county clerks within the Pinelands area and to the Secretary of State on December 20, 2024, and to the Commission's officially designated newspapers on December 20, 2024, and by posting a copy on the Commission's website.
Thanks, Jay. Susan, can you please call roll?
Commissioner Selton,
Here.
Commissioner Avery, Commissioner Busby here, Commissioner Floyd, Commissioner Irick,
Here.
Commissioner Letman, Commissioner Lobauer,
Here.
Commissioner Moriello,
Here.
Commissioner Meade, Commissioner Podolsky,
Here.
Commissioner Rittler Sanchez,
Here.
Commissioner Signer,
Here.
Commissioner Wallner,
Here.
and Commissioner Michaels.
Here. Thank you. And can everyone please stand if you're able and join me in the pledge? I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
Okay, may I please have a motion and second to adopt the minutes from our July 11th?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right. Now on to reports where I'm going to start with the P&I committee meeting. This was from our July 25th meeting. Committee approved the minutes of the June 27th, 2025 meeting. Then the committee heard two presentations from staff. The first focused on proposed projects and initiatives for FY26 through the lens of the P&I committee. It also discussed the FY25 accomplishments, including CMP amendment implementation and other ongoing projects. Executive Director Grogan asked for committee suggestions for additional project priorities. Second presentation from staff provided an overview of the use of ground penetrating radar for archaeological surveys. Staff archaeologist Mark Paulvest reviewed projects conducted by the commission using GPR survey methods, including the detection of potential unmarked burials at two historic church sites and in-progress work at Whitesbog Historic Village. In addition to that summary, we had put off last month appointments to members of the P&I committee. So I am happy to announce that we are moving Teresa to be an alternate, and Commissioner Busby Cope will be a member of the P&I committee. So thank you, Commissioner Busby Cope, for joining us. Any questions or comments on that? All right, that's it for me. Oh, and yes, sorry, Britt. And the other Commissioner Signer will be joining the P&B committee. So thank you for joining that committee and helping us with that important work. Susan, you're up next.
Well, good news and more good news. I thought I would just give an update to everybody about the state budget for fiscal year 2026, now that it's officially adopted and posted and can be seen in all of its detail. The commission's appropriation from the state for the fiscal year is $3.899 million, which is an increase of $150,000 from last year, which has been pretty much the regular increase for annual increase for many, many years. We've also been assured that there will be an additional funding from OMB in the amount of $95,000, which is to provide the funding necessary for the salary program increases that were negotiated as part of the union contract. And then in addition to that, the budget also includes a special appropriation to the commission for Fenwick Manor improvements. Another $69,000, which is, I know sounds like an odd amount, but it's actually based on the calculation I did of expected increase in construction costs and materials for the project. To recognize that there was about a year's delay in getting to the point of doing an RFP and having a consultant on board. So that was the increase associated with the year. So that's in the budget, and then there's additional language in that same section, which indicates that additional funds are to be appropriated to the commission for Fenwick Manor structural and safety purposes. If we document those and submit those requests for funding to Treasury. So that was good news. I didn't expect to see that wording in the budget, but that should hopefully allow us to complete the project. All phases perhaps even, we'll see. But and so more Fenwick Manor news. Paul has a photo he can share with you. One of the requirements of our grant from the Historic Trust is a sign, a very, very large sign. The dimensions are mandatory. It's really big. You don't get the sense of how big it is here, but it's very large. Paul and Mark, the design, they did the design. You can see all the logos that are required at the bottom there. It will be installed in front of the building. Shortly. Our staff's gonna do the installation, which will be interesting. I hope, hopefully, not too hard. So anyway, this is sort of like, I had held off on purchasing and getting the sign until we were sure that we had all the funding we needed and we had a consultant on board and the project was really moving forward, because the sign says the site's being preserved, and when you drive by, you would not think that because it doesn't look so good. But now that we're underway, you'll see the sign go up. We have our consultant busily working. They came, they were on site twice last month, crawling around underneath the buildings and in the attic and cutting holes in my floor and ceiling and trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the chimneys. We were able to post an RFQ. This is like a pre-qualification RFQ for construction firms with experience in, working on historic buildings like ours. They need to be pre-qualified. The Historic Trust will make those determinations. Once that's done, the RFP for the actual construction work will then be issued to those pre-qualified firms. So that's on track. We don't anticipate any construction actually starting until after the new year, but all of the design and specifications and process will be done and ready for that point in time. So I expect by the new year at some point, we will have to implement a plan of some sort to move all the staff that were in Fenwick Manor to other locations. We may have to move the staff out of the carriage house as well. We'll see. We don't know exactly what the area will look like. It's going to be roped off, both due to the scraping of the paint, but also if they have to dismantle chimneys, they may need a bigger safety zone. So we'll be doing some relocation in the new year. The very large smelly raccoon that crawled under the front porch died beneath where my office is. Will not be coming with us. That was just yesterday. He's been evicted. Thanks to John Keys, who I don't think is here today, but he tracked down the smell of death that was permeating our building yesterday morning and removed the raccoon. It was not a good situation. But anyhow, so other than that, things are good with Fenwick. We are moving right along. Having the additional funding will help us ensure that we can deal with any issues that come up throughout the process. So that's good news. Laura mentioned the P&B committee. Their meeting is scheduled for August 19th. It will be a remote meeting only. We will be presenting draft budgets for fiscal year 2026, both for Fenwick Manor, for the Katie Fund, which funds a lot of the gardens that you see, native plantings. Also, Pinelands Conservation Fund budget, and of course the operating funds. All that's being worked on right now. We will have drafts to share with the committee for the 19th. And then that will be on the commission's agenda for approval in September. And I think that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments for Sue? All right, thank you, Susan. Chuck?
Good morning, commissioners, members of the public. Just a couple quick things to mention. A lot of the applications are, of interest are summarized in the July monthly management report that's available on our website. I encourage everyone to lead through those. The only one I wanted to note, of the report was that I had a lengthy discussion with the attorney for Hamilton Township. Hamilton Township is interested in developing its business park. The township owns a lot of vacant land in the business park, they're pre-subdivided parcels. Township attempting to sell off some of the parcels to increase ratables. There's an endangered animal species issue in the park that we've been wrestling with. We think we've resolved a number of the issues and allowed applications to move forward. The business part of the commission, is what they are, is trying to navigate how to enter into agreements to sell the lots to private individuals, private enterprises, and also address the red-headed woodpecker threatened endangered species issue at the same time. We discussed a number of approaches ranging from doing threatened endangered species survey for the entire business park to just identifying a couple of the more marketable parcels in the business park and just doing the survey for those. I think the attorney was leaning towards that approach, kind of to test the waters to see how that would go. The township would, the business park commission, excuse me, would actually undertake those surveys and then pass those surveys on to any potential buyers of the lots. And the last issue that came up in that discussion is one that frequently comes up that's been before the commission before, is how long is the threatened and endangered species survey good for? This is a frequently posed and understandable question. The commission's regulations don't address that issue. The commission's regulations don't say it's good for 3 years, 10 years, or 20 years. Historically, we have not had an issue with this particular problem. Questioning. I understand why it comes up. I indicated to the attorney that we'll recognize and threaten endangered species survey for a number of years. The extremes are easy. We've had one over the last couple of years where the last survey was done 17 years ago. That survey actually identified threatened endangered species survey on the parcel. We advised that applicant that they had to redo their survey given 17 years had lapsed. It'd be very unusual, and it hasn't happened to date, that we would require anyone to redo a threatened endangered species survey, as I've indicated in the management report, for a number of years. We really don't have the ability to give a specific answer to that question. But again, I wanted to emphasize that it has not been an issue in the past, only under extreme circumstances. We do count it. So that was the one application that I wanted to cover. April Field of your staff, the committee administrator, has two that you would like to cover.
Good morning, everyone. I just have two quick updates on matters that were discussed at our last commission meeting. The first is a large 800-acre parcel adjacent to the Black Run Preserve that the public's been asking about. We had an application for our staff to verify wetlands delineation work and look at for endangered species surveys that were completed on the 800-acre parcel. And then after the application was submitted, the applicant met with Director Grogan on July 2nd, and the applicant indicated that they were going to be pursuing permanent preservation potentially of that land, hopefully with Green Acres and nonprofit conservation organizations. As part of that, there's an appraisal process that needs to be done. So they asked that we continue the review of the wetlands delineation work out in the field. Our staff completed our site inspections, and then on July 24th, we issued a letter commenting on the wetlands delineation work was done and asking for revisions to the wetlands line. And that is that one. And then the other application that I wanted to give everyone a brief update on is Walden Glen Pond in Kings Grant. During our last commission meeting, we had a member of the public inquire as to the status of that application. So after the meeting, we looked into it. This is a small pond located in the Kings Grant development in Evesham Township. There was an application submitted for what we consider maintenance dredging of the pond, just removing accumulated sediments down to previous depths. That we had issued a letter July 27th of 2023. So after the meeting, we provided the member of the public a copy of that letter. That letter requested additional information to complete the application. Primarily, we were asking questions about previous historic depths of the lake and ensuring that appropriate wetland buffers were maintained as part of the project. Since then, we've received an application submission in response to that letter, and it was received on July 23rd of this year, and that information is currently under review. And that is all I have.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, as always, for the work and the follow-up and response to folks who come to the meetings. Thank you again for that. Anyone have any questions or comments for Chuck or April? All right, thanks again to you both. Gina.
Good morning. I will start with mention of what we're looking at for the P&I agenda in August. We will have a discussion with DEP on artificial turf. How the office of, yes, what's that? Wrong.
Gina's
That's
fast
October.
moving.
That's October. P&I in August is heat islands, ecosystem heat impacts. Let me just cross. Heat islands.
Everybody's got turf on the brain.
And takeaway from the IAC Interagency Council on Climate Change webinar about heat impacts, and we will also have a presentation that Stacy arranged with Commissioner Irick from Rutgers on agrivoltaics. So that will be the focus of the August P&I meeting, not a artificial turf. An update on the rule proposal for redesignating the Black Run watershed and expiration of certificate of filing and all the things that are in that rule proposal. We had our public hearing on July 15th. Between the public hearing where we had about 50 commenters and written comments, we've received about 300. Between those two written and oral comments, all but about two, maybe three were in support of the amendment or in support of Pinelands in general. And I will share that while several were quite vulgar, one was kind of I'll say cute. In that they said the Pinelands are important, you stupid chicken wing. So, you know,
You think that means proceed with the amendment, but.
yeah, we think that's the
Yeah, well, I'm
we
saying,
think
yeah.
it's in support of the proposal. And quite a few seeing. Which order? Let's see, the comment period closes August 15th. After that, we'll be drafting responses to the comments to share and discuss with the Policy and Implementation Committee in September. Other than that, we're continuing to work on standards for accessible trails, so we hope to share those standards with the Policy and Implementation Committee sometime in the fall. And then there are other not associated, other rule amendments that we hope to bring later in the fall as well. Staff is working on just a variety of reports that happen annually or otherwise, on the schedule, septic pilot program report, permanent land protection report, PDC bank report. And all those will come before either the policy and implementation committee or the commission, full commission at a future meeting. So that's my report.
Thanks, Gina. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Gina? Right, thanks again. Stacy.
Good morning, everyone. I just have one item that I'd like to share with you. It's an update with regard to the Blakeland litigation involving KC rules. As you may remember, Winslow Township is an amicus curiae or a friend of the court in support of Clayton's position in that litigation. For some reason, even though all the briefing was completed at the end of last year, Winslow filed a motion to supplement the record with our most recent rule proposal language, which had nothing to do and was not part of the record on the KC rules. The Attorney General's office filed a motion in opposition to that motion. And fairly quickly, the court issued an order denying that motion to supplement and then also reminded Winslow that it is an amicus and does not have the authority or the right to supplement the record, especially with documentation that is well beyond the date of the initial enrollment. So we still do not have a decision from the court. I'm hoping we will have something by fall. And we still do not have a indication of whether we'll have oral argument, although given the length of time between briefing and now, I think it's unlikely. I think we'll probably just get a decision. So that's all I have for you today.
Did you want to introduce plans?
Sorry, for those of you who've already met Candace McLaughlin is here today. She is our Deputy Attorney General, who is assisting us with the litigation matter that we are going to be discussing in closed session.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Stacy?
Yeah, is there an update on artistic?
That's what we're gonna be discussing.
Okay.
Stay tuned. All right, yeah. Nice teaser. Good job. All right, thank you, Stacy and Candace. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Brad.
Morning, Commissioners. Land Use Programs Office has been receiving adopted housing elements, fair share plans. Municipalities have been working to update to meet the July 1 deadline to adopt plans compliant with the fourth round of affordable housing obligations. So far, we've received 33 plans. About half of them have raised no substantial issues and we've been able to sign off on. 8 of them require implementing ordinances, so we are waiting for their adoption and submission. 3 of those are for zoning changes in regional growth areas that will likely be coming to the P&I committee and commission either later this year or early next year. And we still have about 14 plans to review. We'll be providing a more comprehensive summary of all of those plans at a September P&I committee meeting, I believe. Additionally, just a quick.
We're just laughing. She was like, okay, whatever meeting it is, you know.
She didn't mention anything to do in September.
September 10th is good, right?
I'll be there. The State Planning Commission is nearing completion of the cross acceptance process for the update to the state plan. They've completed all their negotiation sessions with the New Jersey counties. The Office of Planning Advocacy has released information on the items that were discussed at these sessions. We've kind of reviewed them. There's nothing that really came up of concern related to our regulations or to matters within the Pinelands area. They are working revisions into the preliminary state plan draft that was released, and they continue to remain on track for adoption of the final plan by the end of the year. That is my update.
Thanks, Brad. Anyone have any questions or comments for Brad? All right, Paul.
Good morning, happy Friday. Just want to make note about the closed session. For the benefit of those watching this at home, this meeting will be done on YouTube in 2 parts. So after the commission adjourns into closed session, everyone on Zoom, stay on Zoom. And then people who are live streaming this at home, you'll see a second link, which will pick up after we come back in the open session. Okay. Meanwhile, as noted in our management report, we had more than 110 people who attended the 9th annual Pinelands Summer Short Course. And there were so many wonderful programs, informative, inspiring, and entertaining in many cases. And event evaluations have been overwhelmingly positive. So very happy about that. I mentioned last month about the Pinelands Speaker Series at our office. We have a full lineup, and the first presentation is on August 21st, 2 o'clock, on the Connecting Habitats Across New Jersey. It's actually Connecting Habitat Across New Jersey program with Fish and Wildlife, and that will be offered virtually as well as here, and 32 people have registered so far, so that's good. Lastly, we'll be hearing more about this in the budget discussions, but I did tally the numbers and about our merchandise that we are selling here. And since launching our store in August 2023, we've registered more than 4,500 in net sales. It's good. We are down to our last 13 Jersey Devil bucks. Very fitting number for the 13th tribe. So, and in fact, I think we have less than that now. So we will be working on new merchandise. We're researching new ideas. So that's all that I have.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or comments for Paul? All right, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Okay, moving on. Can I get a motion and a second for the resolution regarding the application from Egg Harbor Township for construction of a paved parking lot?
I'll make that list.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Chuck?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to ask Ernest Demon, the supervising environmental specialist, to review this particular public application with the commission.
Good morning, everyone. Paul, if you could please bring up the site plan.
This one?
That's the aerial. Do you have the site plan?
I do. Hold on. This one?
Yes.
Okay, let me get a lot of different things open. Let me zoom in.
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
This is an application, as mentioned, proposed by Egg Harbor Township for 64 space parking lot and existing recreational facility. You can see the parking area there at the bottom of the site plan and an associated stormwater basin. It will disturb just over an acre of wooded area. The reason that's important is recently northern long-eared bat was considered or established as an endangered species by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. By doing that, it automatically became on the list for New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection as an endangered species, and automatically became an endangered species considered protected by comprehensive management plan. The site's within 1 mile of a northern long-eared bat maternity roost area. Through discussions with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and NJDEP, it was determined that in order to protect that species as required by the CMP, no clearing of forested areas should occur between April 1st and September 30th of any year if you're proposing to clear forest within 1 mile of a maternity roost area. That condition's been included in this report, so no clearing will occur within that time period. I would like to mention that this site is, if you could remember the aerial that was just up, it is surrounded by existing development entirely. I'd be happy to take any questions.
There is a wooded section. Great, is there?
Can you please
Yes.
bring the aerial back up?
Aerial?
Sure.
Good question about.
Here, let me get to this.
I know, a couple of years.
So that wooded area that you see within the blue box is the area that will be disturbed for the proposed parking lot.
Is the ownership the same on the wooded, on the parcel that appears to be wooded, or at least have some woods on it directly to the northeast, or this is a north-south orientation, to the left?
To the left of the blue box,
Yeah,
that's actually a stormwater basin.
that's the stormwater.
Yes, it is.
That's not the same one they're going to use though.
No, it is not. That's actually was established many years ago for the development that's occurred in the area.
And it's functional.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
So where exactly is the habitat?
Right.
Well,
Right.
unfortunately, typically we cannot show that, but it's within 1 mile of a maternity roost area. If you were to bring up our data available online or available, I'm sorry, to the commission staff, it would show a large 1 mile circle. And this area is within that circle.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, just two.
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
One may not know the answer to, what is the food source for the northern linear path?
They are in the second order.
It's acceptable, okay, so we can assume that we're hoping that the stormwater basin fails so that will there be a lot of impact? That's why food sources.
Well, I would typically say no.
The official answer is.
Yes, right, absolutely.
It's a newly established species, so we've had discussions, with the appropriate professionals. And this is guidance that was provided to the commission and of course everyone.
Well, I hope there'll still be food for the babies when if that's continues to serve. I have one other question about just the way we do what we require for parking space, for parking and stormwater. I remember a long time ago, that was suggested that instead of just like one big basin, that we have depressions between rows, so that it's a quicker gathering, quicker infiltration. Like, do we require that, or we discuss that with applicants when they?
Yes, the rules actually do require on many development applications, the use of multiple smaller facilities, 4 bays, swales, so forth, in order to provide multiple areas of infiltration and improve water quality.
Was that not possible to do on this site?
This is a limited area, so that's why you're just seeing that one facility.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, thank you. We are gonna switch the order up here a little bit from what's printed on the agenda. So can I get a motion and a second, please, for the resolution for the application for the single family dwelling in Hamilton Township?
So
I'll second that.
Thank you. Everybody. Chuck, back to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is an application for a waiver of strict compliance from the commission's buffer to wetlands requirement. The application proposes one single family dwelling served by public sanitary sewer in Hamilton Township. It's located in a Pinelands regional growth area. The dwelling, because it cannot maintain the required buffer to wetland, the waiver is before the commission today. The dwelling is providing a buffer to wetlands of approximately 150 feet. And I would just note that one of the conditions of approval, as required by commission's regulations, the applicant is obligated to purchase a quarter of a Pinelands development credit. And in turn, that Pineland development credit purchase will wind up being conservation of a certain acreage of land located elsewhere in the Pinelands. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Chuck. Any questions or comments for Chuck on this? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, next up, I think we need a recusal. Before we.
I'll recuse myself.
Thank you.
Just to put it on the record, thank you, Mayor Bill, for recusing yourself. This application involves Woodbine, and Mayor Bill is the mayor of Woodbine.
Okay, can I get a motion and a second, please, on the Resolution for the application from Woodbine Borough for a 3-lot subdivision.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, Chuck. Oh, Ernie.
I'm back again.
Guys.
As you mentioned, this is a 3-lot re-subdivision of an existing 4.32 acre parcel in the borough of Woodbine. The Woodbine's potable water treatment plant is currently located on the parcel. Oh, sorry, Paul. Is that up?
It is. I'm just zooming in. It's pretty small. You want me to zoom in more?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
The water treatment plant is located to the north in this picture at the top. A couple of items of interest. The commission is aware of an existing contamination of the site from a previous use. In accordance with the MOA between DEP and the commission, DEP handles remediation of contaminated sites. In this case, the licensed site remediation professional determined that the site required a stone cap of the contaminated area to avoid contact with soils, contaminated soils. That stone cap is at the bottom of the site. During our investigation or during our review of this application, including site inspections and review of aerials such as you see here, it was determined that that stone cap was being utilized for the parking of commercial vehicles for a private company. During a site inspection, only 3 vehicles remained as part of this application, and in order to resolve that issue, the applicant has determined that, or has demonstrated that they'll have those 3 remaining vehicles removed by September 1st. One other item of note is that the proposed water treatment plant is going to be located on a 1.8 acre parcel. The plant requires 2.31 acres to meet the commission's groundwater quality standard or our septic pollution standard. Therefore, until that lot can be serviced by either sanitary sewer or an alternate design septic system, the applicant has agreed to deed restrict 0.512 acres of the adjacent vacant parcel from development. And again, the commission will, they do have to provide that deed restriction to the commission within 60 days. And of course, we will keep that in mind when any eventual applications come in for those 2 proposed vacant lots.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for Ernie?
I have one, Ernie, and then perhaps Stacy this time. I believe there might be some provisions in the Site Remediation Reform Act that govern subdivision of contaminated properties. And I have seen it in places, the scenario is don't subdivide out the clean portion and then leave it. So I don't know where the boundaries of the contamination are, but I think just to make sure the DEP is okay with this application might be a good, check box to check.
I'm not sure how to exactly answer that proposed question.
I think, what's the acreage of the site that has the contamination on it?
Well,
That's the larger portion,
it's
isn't it?
the larger parcel that exists today.
So they're not subdividing out
Well,
the tiny portion that's just the area subject to the stone cap. Commissioner Moreno.
well, I'm not sure that's correct. What you see here on the aerial, the new lot line, one of the new lot lines will, pretty much it will be 3 somewhat equal lots going from northeast to southwest, with lines perpendicular creating those 3 parcels. Whether the entire previously contaminated site is located on only 1 parcel, I don't know the answer to that.
I think that what we'll do is Commissioner, we'll follow up.
Yeah.
That was my suggestion. I don't want to create any,
No.
but as long as
Yes,
DEP.
we'll follow up,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that Woodbine want to do the appropriate.
Sure, I want to make sure there's no flaw in how this thing happened, so. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, thank you. And sometime, thank you so much. All right, while Mayor Bill rejoins us, Next up is public comments on a couple of public development project applications. So Paul has the number up. Just a couple, so I'll just. Application is from DEP. One is from Egg Harbor Township. I'll turn it over to Chuck to provide some info.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's two applications up for public comment as listed on the agenda. It's relatively self-explanatory. DEP is proposing demolition and reconstruction of a restroom. And the second application is in Egg Harbor Township is proposing expansion of existing grass athletic fields and the proposed.
Can we pause and just say that again? Grass athletic fields, thank you.
And the proposed athletic field will also, expansion area will also be natural grass. Be happy to answer any questions.
Madam
Right.
Chair, I've got a question.
Yep.
Thanks. The DEP application for Bass River State Forest. I presume that the new restroom is going to be built on the footprint of the old that is being demolished. Is that right?
Yes, not the exact footprint, but yes, very close.
Very close, it seems, right? Okay, thank you.
All right, do we have anyone on the line? Anyone in the room? On this one? No. Okay. Anyone on the line?
No calls.
All right, we'll shut it down. There will be another public comment period at the end of the meeting for those who wish to give public comment on either of those that missed my very small window. Okay, next, some items that do not require our action. Brad, over to you.
Yes, there's a lengthy memo in the packet for today's meeting, covering the roughly 10 housing plans that were reviewed prior to the end of the month. We also received a few additional ordinances related to affordable housing and a couple of other ordinances related to cannabis and other minor tweaks to various things. So I have to take any questions.
Thanks. Any questions for Brad? All right, thanks, Brad. All right, public comment period again. Paul, if you could put the number up, please. Is there anyone in the room who would like to give general public comment? Come on. Please state your name to start.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Volba, founder of Black Run Preserve, speaking as a private citizen of Evesham Township. I'm advocating for the passage of the Pinelands Commission's proposed amendment to the CMP, as it will limit major development in the Black Run headwaters area, but it will not ensure that perhaps 30 to 40 multi-million-dollar homes will not be built on its upland areas. Even that smaller number of houses will be devastating to the Pinelands nature that now exists. Hopefully, the owner will work with the local nonprofits in Evesham Township to agree upon a fair market value for the whole 800 acres, then give the parties involved ample time to raise the funds needed to ensure the whole property is protected. This is what Ms. Samuels said she would like, the whole 800 acres to be conserved. As I recently said to Evesham Mayor Vesey and Town Council, I believe Ms. Samuels. Of course, identifying the next owner of the headwaters property is key to its survival. That's why I'm advocating for Evesham Township to become the owner, as it's only natural for the Black Run Preserve's headwaters to become part of the existing BRP. Many people are hoping this will be the case, but they are assuming that the land will be accessible for an extended trail network supporting sustainable outdoor recreation and education. But I can see the Evesham Township leadership being hesitant, not knowing what trails and infrastructure the Pinelands Commission will allow in the future. So, since September 2023, both parties, Evesham Township and the Pinelands Commission, have been working on a memorandum of agreement for the existing Black Run Preserve. If a price for the 800 acres can be agreed upon, then planning for the next stage will help Evesham know what will be allowed up front. I believe the Pinelands Commission can help Evesham Township see the value of ownership if it's willing to begin working with the township to create a future headwaters MOA as soon as a price is set. I suggest an MOA that would allow boardwalks in the headwaters section, just like the ones recently installed in Morton State Forest near Batstow. This would allow for the creation of a trail loop simply by extending existing Black Run Preserve trails, what is now known as the Hamilton-Georgetown Tract on the BRP's west side. This is also a location where a proposed pedestrian bridge to connect both sides of the tract was discussed in a pre-application meeting with the Pinelands Commission staff in 2017. The Friends of the Black Run raised funds for the Peace Bridge, and Evesham Township passed a resolution to install it. Therefore, I respectfully request that if efforts are made to purchase the headwaters, that frank and open discussions between Evesham and the Pinelands Commission to develop a new MOA for the area include the Peace Bridge and an accessible trail loop. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else in the room? We have anybody on the phone?
No callers.
All right, I'm gonna close the public comment period. And ask Jay, please, if you can read the resolution for closed session, please.
Of course. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-13, it is hereby resolved that the Pinelands Commission shall now go into executive session to discuss the acquisition of real estate, personnel matters, pending or anticipated litigation, any matters falling within the attorney-client privilege, and any matters under NJSA 10:4-12B that have arisen during the public portion of the meeting. The minutes of such meetings shall remain confidential until the commission determines that the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Thank you, Jay. Can I get a motion and a second on the resolution just read by Jay?
I'll make that motion.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? All right, thank you. We're gonna go into closed session. Yeah.